Do you recognize me? Guys, took out my extensions. Hello, welcome to another vlog. Yeah, had to acknowledge that, but I got my extensions out on Friday. It is now Monday. Holy moly. And I thought I would vlog today. I am currently making my breakfast. And I haven't trained yet. Usually I eat like a little snack before I go train. And then I have my breakfast, but because I am training with my friend Casey a little bit later today, I'm gonna eat a full breakfast. But I've already answered a handful of client check-ins. It's like 9 o'clock right now. I'm meeting her at 10. And I wake up at 6:30. So I've been at it for a few hours, but I'm not sure where this vlog will go. We're gonna do this thing. Yeah, making cream of rice. No surprise there. You guys know the drill. Got my Pride Foods, berries, almond butter, egg. And I decided what we're gonna do this vlog. We're gonna do some little bulking do's and don'ts. Okay, so do number one is don't push off eating. I see so many women, and like up until this bulk, did not get hungry until at least like 10 a.m. But you have to realize you're like shortening that window of time that you have to get food in. And like, I don't understand what this whole fasting thing is. There's actually a lot of studies coming out that it can be like super detrimental to most females' health. And I'm by zero means saying like, you have to eat the second you get up or something like that. But it was really when I started training earlier, I was like, I need to get in food before I train. But now, even when I get up, like I try to eat my first meal by 9 a.m. So it's not like right when I get up, but it used to be like 11, sometimes 11:30. Like if you're complaining about being full, but you're pushing off your first meal, like that's just silly, right? So eat early, okay? Training delties. Casey's like one of like 2 people I can train with.
It's true. We get in, we work, we chat like the smallest amount, and then we're like, okay, push.
Yep, it's great. It's a good time. Okay, so I'm gonna open this. My lift with Casey is done. And I told her, I was like, yeah, we'll go grab coffee, because I was gonna grab it anyways. But like, yo, I'm literally blocked in by this truck. And I don't know what to do. So I'm like, do I go to the gym and like ask them to let me out? I've been sitting in my car for like 15 minutes, and like we all know Lexi has a very busy schedule, and one of my goals is to make time to see my people more, because it makes me feel good and I value them so much and I want to make time for them. And I'm just trying to get coffee with my friend.
We're here.
See, Team Chug.
Team Sip.
Okay, so we are back. That was fun. Casey and I just like sat and chatted for a while. She moved to Austin a couple months ago. And I just like had kind of known her from like messaging on social media. I think you guys may have seen her once in another vlog because we have a mutual friend. And she had a show, and Casey came to her show, and that's the only other time I met her before. But anyways, like I said, one of my goals for this week is to just really prioritize my people, because the past couple weeks we had a big launch with alignment, and I literally have just been working like 12 hours a day. And although I'm introverted, like they actually talk about this in church, but like as humans, we need interaction regardless of how introverted we are, and like we need connection. Otherwise, like we cannot function as humans. Even like a lot of mental disorders and stuff come up when we don't have social interaction. But beyond that, like I just love my friends, and I know for myself, if someone doesn't prioritize seeing me, like I notice that, you know? So I just never want to be that person. But anyways, bulking tip number 2, you guys saw my Starbucks drink. And not that that's super high calorie, but I think the way I track it, there's like just over like 100 calories in it. And like, if you struggle with getting in your food and you struggle with being full, liquid calories are great. Even intra-workout, so during your workout, drinking like a Gatorade or something is a really, really easy way to get in carbs. But I just kind of switched up my Starbucks order a little bit, so I get like oat milk now instead of like a small splash of almond milk, because that actually has a decent chunk of calories. I gotta get to work, so I just made a quick snack, which I already started eating. I had 4 caramel rice cakes, but just caramel rice cakes with a little bit of cream cheese, and then I have a protein shake just because I want to get back to it. It's like noon now, so yeah, had a productive morning before we trained, but now I'm like, gotta go. So I'll make a real meal in a second, but just wanted some carbs and protein post-workout. Okay, so it's a couple hours later now, and I'm just taking a break from work to make some food. So what I have in here is chicken thigh that I just had pre-made, and then I don't even know if you can see this. I have Brussels sprouts, butternut squash. It just came in like a frozen bag, and I found it. I was like, this sounds good. And then I just mixed that with rice, and then I have tahini on top. I actually realized right before I came down here that I've done a video with like 10 tips for getting in your food when you're bulking, so I'll link that in the description box. I'll make this just kind of like bulking tips in general, but one thing I will say is like, don't shoot yourself in the foot by having things that are like A, super high fiber, or B, super filling. Like obviously we want to make sure we get in enough fiber, but what I will say is all my main carb sources are simple carbs, right? Cream of rice has no fiber. Rice cakes, no fiber. Jasmine rice, no fiber. Just because it's gonna be less filling, and obviously like I have Brussels sprouts and a little butternut squash in there to help me get in my nutrients and help me get in my fiber. So I'm not saying eat like a 0 fiber diet, but it's really, really easy if you're eating a lot of carbs for that to add up, right? Like if I was using brown rice and oats, like I would easily be eating like 60 grams of fiber a day, and I'd be so full and so backed up. And then the other thing is just like keep things calorie dense. I see so many people who are like volume eating and eating like 10 plates of food, and I'm like, you literally could fit that all in one bowl. Like this is, I haven't tracked it yet, but I'm guessing like 500-600 calories. So utilizing fats, and I talked about that in my bulking foods video. So like chicken thigh instead of chicken breast, that's easily another like 8 grams of fat, just in like my meat. And then like jasmine rice is very like carb dense for not a lot of volume, right? So there's that if you struggle with being full. I am about to go on my little walk. Oh, my Apple Watch died. I wonder why that happened. It's 5:30, so usually I like go on my little walk between like 5 and 5:30, and here's the thing, when you're growing, like obviously if you are doing like moving more, you're going to have to eat more, right? Like energy balance, okay? I'm not doing any prescribed cardio, but I do find that like going on a walk, right? So like 15, 20, 25 minutes, whatever, helps a lot with my digestion, and with hunger, and just like energy and mood in general. I don't want it to get dark before I go out there, so I'm just gonna go on my quick little walk, respond to messages, whatever, and maybe catch a sunset.
Walking alone streets.
To be quite honest, I was just in a big rush. I have our Monday, I keep looking at my watch. I must have like not like plugged it in right last night, whatever. At 6:55 right now, we have our Monday night team staff call every Monday at 7. So, you guys know I'm kind of like planning out my meals for the week. I got some ground beef that I was gonna make like little burgers out of and have that with like potatoes and veggies, but didn't have time to cook those up, so I just made an omelet. So there's mushrooms, spinach, and then there's an egg in there, and then a whole egg on top. And then how I cook the potatoes is I just put garlic salt and a little bit of olive oil. A really easy way to get in fat. But this is a Lexi's not doing this the best today, because I'm just gonna be real, I've not tracked what I've eaten today. I have a feeling I will be relatively under my macros. But if you struggle to hit your macros, try planning your food ahead of time and create some sort of like routine for yourself. You know, like I know for me, I just kind of have my times throughout my day, because I feel like we all have pretty structured days where I just know that it's time to eat. And usually my body will tell me it is time to eat. Today was obviously a little bit different since I like trained at a different time than usual and whatnot. So I do have a feeling I may be a bit behind on food. So it's a piece of advice I usually follow, but maybe not today. Also, just putting ketchup on literally everything. Okay, these potatoes are so good. Just thought of something else. When you have veggies, if you're really full, cook them down. Okay guys, so client Zoom call is over. And I am just whipping up some collagen hot cocoa. So I just use chocolate collagen. And then what I've been doing, which I know this sounds gross, but it tastes good, is I've been mixing in my greens. Sometimes I have them separate, but these are chocolate flavored greens. And so I mix them with the chocolate flavored collagen and a little stevia. And it tastes really, really good. I got a few questions when I showed these greens a while ago. I've been hooked on them. People asked if I was still working with First Form. At the time I was, but it was right before I ended my contract with them. So, I'm not anymore, and like, obviously I like their products. I would never promote something I didn't like, so I don't want anyone to think that like I don't like their stuff. I'm still using their collagen, but I have been trying out some different supplements and just different like brands. Yeah, like I don't want to overshare, but I don't want to like leave people in the dark. So it's kind of like a weird line to walk, but I'll just say like when you work with a company, you want to feel like you really align with their culture. Number one, you really align for what they stand for, how they promote their products, and you want to be treated well and you want to be valued. And honestly, I wanted to try other stuff, and so I started trying other stuff, and I was like, there's a lot of other really good stuff that I really enjoy out there. So I have this, and what I will say about greens is like, they can't be a replacement for vegetables, right? Like you need the fiber and stuff that comes in vegetables, but these have, these beam ones that I've been really hooked on, have 18 fruits and 8 veggies, and it's just a good way to get in a wider variety of nutrients than you can fit in your diet, and especially when you're bulking and you're maybe not consuming as many vegetables and fruits and nutrients, it's really helpful to just get those nutrients in. And like I said, I was behind on food, so I have a serving and a half of Honey Nut Chex, which are quite tasty. What is up, guys? Okay, one, just, I had pants on, okay, but I showered. This t-shirt is Buffbunny collection. They just had a big launch last week, and these are one of the pieces. They had a lot of like tie-dye pieces like this. I'm a big fan, and I love my big t-shirts. This is actually like, I should wear it to the gym, but I don't know. Tonight it is a very fashionable nightgown, but just washed my hair for the first time since getting my extensions out. Like obviously like she did it there, and I didn't know, like, I don't know how it's gonna dry. One thing that's nice is I can let it air dry, so I'm just gonna kind of like see what it does on its own. But yeah, I need to learn to style it. I also realized I have so many life updates, and I'm gonna edit them out but I've like talked so much about this vlog, just like updating you on little things. But maybe I'll do just like a life updates video. Obviously, like I couldn't hide the hair from you. Yeah, I'm about to make my last meal. I just have to put more insulin in my pump, basically. So let's do that. Talked about my Dexcom before, which I still wear. Let's see if I can show you guys. You can see it right there, but I've been wearing a T-Slim pump. So this, it has this tube that connects to, let's see if I can show you without showing you my whole butt. Another little insertion that I have right there, so I have a lot of needles in me. But basically insulin is delivered through this tube. But obviously you need the insulin to go somewhere, so it goes right here in the pump and it runs out. And when it runs out, this sucker starts beeping at me. It's honestly, it's so nice because this hooks up to my Dexcom, so it like literally will correct my blood sugar for me, besides when I eat. Like when I eat, I still have to bolus, but it's made my life so much easier. I hate wearing it so much, but you guys probably don't see it that much in my videos because I usually have it like tucked up in a sports bra or like in my pocket. But anyways, the insulin goes in this little thing, and every once in a while I have to make a new one. And I do change the like injection spot in my body every like 3 days, but sometimes I'm just lazy and I have a really good spot that doesn't hurt, and so I'm just leaving it there and I'm just changing the insulin. But basically I have to, if someone walked into my apartment, they would think I was a druggie, for real. But put this needle on, we draw ourselves up some insulin. So then we, come on, get the air out. For some reason there was a lot in that one. Okay, and then, fuck, I don't know which one's the old one and which one's the new one. This is the old one, okay. Should have been more intelligent about that. Then we draw the air out of that bad boy. Get that air out. I literally have to do this like every 2 days. It's ridiculous. But it's better than giving myself a shot every time I eat. Insulin in there. And then we slide that back into the pump. And I basically just have to go through a whole process on my pump. And I attach this cord. I know I'm gonna get shit from other diabetics for doing it this way, but yo, sometimes I don't wanna go through the whole process, putting anything in my body. And while this does its thing, I'm just going to make another bowl of creamer rice. Not gonna focus. But this little thing is basically like a little tube thing. It connects to this, and then we just tuck this bad boy back there. Pretend he doesn't exist. But yeah, that's that little tidbit of Lexi's life. And the last meal, we're gonna put some sugar-free syrup up on there. And you know the drill. This is another thing. I don't even track this, honestly. It's like, okay, great, like some extra calories that like really aren't gonna like make or break anything, you know, but that's just part of, I guess, one of the great things about being in a surplus. But yeah, I definitely have a few more pointers, so I'm gonna close out this vlog in the morning. Sorry if you can hear cheer in the background. I am just very tired and done for the night, but cheers to gains. I'll see you in the morning. Okay, it is the next day, and I just wanted to close out this vlog. I know I mentioned it towards the beginning of the video, but I was like, oh, I've definitely made a video with bulking like food tips before, and I will link that in the description box for you, because that was at a point where my macros were like very, very high. Like I think anyone would probably have a hard time hitting them, but I wanted to give you guys some tips around growing, just to kind of help make the experience better, right? Because yes, a lot of people do struggle to get enough food, but a lot of times people struggle for different reasons. Gaining weight is hard, or seeing your body change is hard, or seeing other people eating less than you is hard, or whatever. So I want to give you guys some tips around that, because like I said, I've been through growing phases multiple times, and previously they were to compete, right? And that's part of the process, right? Like if you want to grow, you need to build muscle. And this time it's something I really chose to do for myself, because it's a challenge and it's fun and I like pushing myself, and I truly do enjoy growing, right? Like, yes, you get to a point where like you're not the most comfortable. I would say I kind of just got there, but discomfort is where change is made. And that is the first point that I want to bring up, right? Like a growing phase is where physiques are built. A lot of people think like, oh, when you're cutting and losing fat, like that's when you look good. But if you don't have a base of muscle and you are trying to look toned, you're gonna lose fat and you're just gonna look skinny fat, right? Because you need muscle to like poke through, right? Or, you know, for me, this growing phase, a lot of it is like changing like my shape, right? Like I want some glutes, and I know for me, like I always had the body of a 12-year-old boy, and the only reason I look more feminine now, besides getting freaking implants, but you know, I have more of like a feminine figure, is because I freaking built it. Like literally, I built my back, I built some nice shoulders, because I'm just such a narrow person. I built some glutes, I built some legs, and that gives me more feminine shape. Like, if you want a toned look, you're probably gonna want to go through a growing phase at some point. So that is why we grow. We grow to change, and change is always gonna be uncomfortable. The other thing that really helps me is to set goals outside of just physique related ones. So for me, like getting strong is so fun. I know not everyone like loves training and being strong as fuck as much as I do, but I would say this growing phase, really this past year since my prep, it's something I've just really fallen in love with, and I wish I focused on more in my other growing phases. As I've been increasing my food, I've been getting so freaking strong, and it's just so cool. So I have a lot of gym related goals, but if you've been someone who's been super body focused while you're growing, if you tend to hyper focus on your body and it's not making you too jazzed, focus on other things. Other thing I would say is to focus on all the beautiful things that come with growing, right? It's one of those things where I feel like the grass is always greener, and we're like, oh my gosh, people are getting shredded and they're losing weight and like, and they're leaning out, whatever. And you forget that like, when you're dieting, all you want is to eat some motherfucking food. Like, I feel weak, I feel tired, I don't have energy. So for me, just reminding myself of all of like the great things that come with growing, like having so much energy. I mentioned getting strong, having so much food, like literally being able to have more food freedom and incorporate different things. And for me, kind of like I mentioned, like I don't really have to worry about tracking throughout the day. I can kind of like plug it in all later in the day, because I have so many macros to play with. Like when my macros are lower, like you have to be much more like focused on hitting your macros, you know? So I think those are all good things. Another thing is just like the health benefits, right? Like if you need to restore your hormones, that was a big one for me, right? So just like being super healthy internally. When you have more food to play with, you're gonna get more food variety. You have the ability to get in so many more nutrients. That's gonna leave your skin great, your hair great, all of that kind of stuff. And that's like a food thing too. So ADHD of me, but like when you are growing, focus on incorporating food variety and like different nutrients and stuff like that, you know? it's been a little crazy with the holidays and whatnot. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been like the most on it with like tracking my progress and taking pictures and weighing myself and all of that kind of stuff, which I wanted to do that just like for you guys to show you how I execute a growing phase. But let me know if you want like a bulk update video because I could do that. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to continue this growing phase, but I'll keep you guys in the loop on that. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you could comment, share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss another video. Let me know what you want to see, and I'll see you in the next one.